Hello, hello, hello there everyone. Alex here with Lucksack Games, here for round 3 of the Modern Challenge. Let's see. Name. I want to see how Just Burn 420 is doing. Just Burn 420, lost their last round. Bummer. Always root for your opponents. I mean, not to win the die roll though. This one's close, but I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan on 7. And this one's a keep. Let's go ahead and put back this Ghost Quarter. We're leaning on this once upon a time to hit a second land, but I don't think that's too much to hope for. Yes, once upon a time. Ooh, we can grab Power Plant or Mine. I'm going to grab Mine. Play Mine into map. See if the opponent counters it. Looks like they do have some form of interaction, maybe a stubborn denial. Does look like what's happening. Ooh, Thought Scour. That's fine. Ooh, they actually did mill a power plant. So, of note, if they're mill of some sort, they might have surgical, which would be very, very, very bad for us. Creeping Tar Pit more likely implies that Million Counterspell Sam Black deck, so we're going to go ahead and pass the turn here. Let's go ahead and crack map. Alright, don't surgical us, opponent. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Alright, so we do have 4 cards in our graveyard. So our first thing we're going to force them to counter. We want to not get countered by Drown in the Lock, so we're going to start with the card Liberated. Alright, and Karn resolves, which means they were sitting on Drown in the Lock more than likely. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Tar Pit. Yep. Likely flashing in a 3-power creature here. Just bolting it, that's fine too. That also puts him on Grixis control, which is much better for us than that Into the Story control. We'd much prefer they bolted Karn rather than flashed in like a click. Looks like they're going with the second option. A command. Alright, that's a little surprising. We're going to ditch your Stirrings. Pass turn. Interesting choice of modes. 2 to us. Guess they just bolt Karn now. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, it's still only 6 cards in our grave, so we're going to go ahead and just jam this Karn again. Once again, we're trying to avoid getting hit by Drown in the Lock, and we only have 6 cards in our grave currently. Alright, opponent concedes. The proper thing to the second Karn you couldn't answer. Alright, so why I'm bringing in Relic of Pagandus here is I believe my opponent, since they have Thought Scours, has every intention of also surgicaling away my Tron. Under that logic, we're also going to trim some of these walkers and probably an Oblivion Stone. They do have to have a permanent to win the game, but yeah, not super interested in that. Or Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter could answer Creeping Tar Pit, but I feel that's pretty niche. And let's see. Debating on the surgical. Surgical literally would just be coming in to surgical our own Tron piece to prevent their surgical from resolving. Not sure if that's worth it. I feel almost certain they have Murderous Riders and stuff, so I'm definitely cutting the Ugin. let's just try it like this. Might want to make changes for game 3. It's really close. I'm going to go ahead and keep it since we're against control. We have quite a bit of time. Ideal rip would obviously be a star or sphere or something. That's also fine. So let's go ahead and play a relic on one. Which is great because it also makes their ground and locks worse, because even if they mill us, we have relic. Alright, cool. They didn't have Thought Scour on one this game. Alright, so we're just going to make a land drop here and pass. I don't think we're in any rush to crack this relic until we're going to miss a land drop. Ooh, a Field of Ruin. Yep. Alright, looks like we're getting fielded. Perfect. That's going to enable our green. Yep. That's fine. Now we'll be able to cast Sylvan Scrying. Likely getting countered based on what the opponent has, but I think that's fine. So it's Sylvan Scrying. Spell Snare, that's fine. Alright, we're going to play Nurse's Power Plant, because little did they know we actually still had a land in hand. Pass to them. What's great also about getting this Power Plant in play is if they don't play a Field of Ruin. That's Cryptic Command mana, though. This Relic of Progenitus could potentially pop, because we already have Power Plant in play, so we're no longer worried about Surgical. So let's draw a card. Thragtusk, we already had one of him. Alright, let's start with the Stirrings, see if they let this resolve. They did. Unfortunately, we did not hit a land. Let's grab a Karn Great Creator. And then unfortunately, we have to pass the turn here. Hey, command. Sure. Gonna go ahead and discard a Thragtusk here. No real good answer there. Looks like the opponent's also missing a land drop this turn, but probably is countering Ancient Stirrings this time. Sweet. Drawing Force there is good because when they counter this Ancient Stirrings, we can play Force in another one. Ooh, we whiffed again. Alright, go ahead and grab a Chromatic Sphere. And stir again. Right, they're countering this one. This is Force of Will, or not Force of Will, Cryptic Command. Yep, that's fine. Chromatic. Pop it for green. Let's draw a card. Chromatic. Love this deck. Alright, so we now have 4 lands, so we can start jamming Karns. And the opponent is down a Cryptic, so that's pretty sweet. Next turn, if they had a land drop, they'll have Snap Cryptic. So we don't want that to really happen. Into the Story counters everything, unfortunately. Start by popping this for a green. Draw a card. That is a Tron piece, but that's not exactly the one we were looking for. I'm going to start off on Thragtusk. It's a reasonable threat, and if it gets countered, then I'm not too worried about it. Sweet. Sweet. Now the opponent has to answer this 5-3. And if they do, they have to answer the 3-3. Thragtusk is great against control. Requires 2 answers if it resolves. Or it clears the way for our other spells. It's a K command again. Sure. 2 damage to us and discard. Opponent making some interesting choices. We're going to go ahead and pitch O-Stone. These multiple K commands, though, definitely a little worrisome for the artifact deck as I'm holding these Karns. Is this a Dreadbore or something? So, of note, opponent does not look like their deck is, or it does not look like transfer is very good against their deck. So, whereas I normally love transferring our opponents, won't be doing that to this opponent. Especially with all these K commands. Yep. This is once again why we need 2 answers. Here's our 3/3 Beast. If we play Sanctum, we can play Karn and pay for Spell Pierce, but not Monoleak. I think I'm okay with jamming 1 Karn into potential counterspell. Yeah, looks like they have it too. Ah, Mystic Sanctuary. Nice. Targeting Cryptic Command. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good next turn. Force of Negation. Yep, that's a real magic card. Alright, so I'm kind of trying to incentivize them to Cryptic Command and make us discard, because then we can crack the Sphere in response. And either discard the other card if we feel it's better, or discard the card. Alright, put the opponent to 15. Go ahead, opponent. A little scary once I start getting Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic Command going. Surgical targeting Oblivion Stone. Yes. Yes, that works. Both our Oblivion Stones, oh no, just that removes an Oblivion Stone from our deck, which I don't feel is an insane draw at this point. Additionally, this Karn can go grab that Oblivion Stone, if necessary. Is this Thoughtseize? That's a little bit worse for us. It's Big Fish, that's Cassiger. Okay, sure. They don't have Cryptic Command mana currently. With who we drew the Mind. That's insane. Second threat. Not quite. Alright, so we know they have Cryptic Command. One, two, 3 counters on Blast Zone puts it up to 4. I can blow up this Tassiger in 2 turns. I'm in. So they can use Cryptic Command to balance Blast Zone, but I think that's fine. We want to draw a second threat. Sure. Opponent gets... Why do you go so bad for us? Surgical's not great for us either. We don't have a Karn in the grave currently, though. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him Surgical. Yeah, opponent correctly does not attack there. I don't think they're winning this race. Put some charge counters on this bad boy. Ooh, Wormcoil Engine. That's a second threat. Draw Step Surgical. Like Draw Step Surgical. I had to give them Surgical though, because if they take Unmoored Ego, they just name Urza's Mine. Bringing Thragtusk. That's fine. There are a lot of those in our deck, as our opponent is aware post-board, but that's okay. Opponent is well equipped for the Tron matchup, though. Surgicals and Unmoored Egos is pretty brutal. Alright, so the opponent now gets to pick which one of these two spells they want to counter, but they only get to counter one. I'd imagine they counter the Great Creator. Alright, so let's go ahead and start on Wormcoil Engine. Sweet. So I know they have Cryptic Command. I am just passing the turn here. Yep. We're giving them the Surgical Extraction back again. Yeah, that's fine. Here's Surgical again, opponent. Our graveyard is literally 6 cards, all of which are the same card. Or all of which are 2 different cards. Alright, so I'm actually just going to leave this Blast Zone on 4 because it's currently stopping Jaces and such. I'm just going to get in there with my creatures. I understand they're probably blocking the beast. That's not really a big deal. If so, we're getting in there for 6. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Go to 27, put them to 7. Second main, let's go ahead and cast once. Is this one okay, opponent? Don't mind if I does another Wormcoil Engine. Don't mind if I does another Wormcoil. This one a little bit less certain if they're going to let resolve, which is fair. Okay, this one's getting countered. Of note, we won't be popping our Relic any sort of aggressively in future games, because they are definitely a heavy graveyard-based deck. I'm sure they're very happy to see us pop that. We didn't know quite how heavy, though. I was correct playing around Surgical, though, as apparently they have multiple of that. Alright, opponent, you're floating 4. I assume you're Cryptic Command choosing modes. Alright, bounce Wormcoil, counter Wormcoil. That's fine. Alright, so now punished for getting in there. Now this card has to plus. Well, I guess I could just have a counter for this too. That'd be a thing, I guess. Alright. Alright, let's view our sideboard real quick. And our exile. Gonna plus the Karn and make them Kolaghan's Command it. Then we'll blow up their Tasigur and see if we can rip some threats off the top. Yep. Oh, they have K Command. Nice. Another Mystic Sanctuary? Interesting. Snap no targets is pretty good. It's a pretty nice answer to Karn. I'm kind of happy with that, because that means that Snapcaster Mage isn't snapping Cryptic this turn. Yep. We have less cards in our deck than the control opponent. It's activated Tasigur multiple times. Alright, Surgical's Wormcoil Engine. That's pretty good. It's also a discard spell. Let's rip an Ulamog off the top. Double checking, making sure we still had one in the deck. That ain't it, Chief. Let's go ahead and play his Chromatic. One Ulamog, please. It's tower. Go ahead and put this up to 6. I guess there's no reason to do it now, so let's go ahead and pass the turn. Alright, now I'm hoping they mill a cantrip or something, because I don't really want to give them surgical again, because then they take away our cards too. Vomit. Alright, End of the Story is pretty brutal too. The Relic was definitely the correct sideboard card. Yep. Let's put 2 counters on this. Alright, so we're up to 6 and start our turn. Flick. That's fun. Flick can kill us pretty quick too. I'm sure opponent leaves us with map. So let's start with this. They're gonna activate Tasker because they know their hand is. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. They're gonna just counter the map. Okay, let's go to map. And we're just gonna go ahead and grab a mine and pass the turn. Alright, so now, when the opponent surgical worm coils, they left the one in the grave. Of note. I believe that was intentional since they Into the Story us. That's something I should have noticed earlier. Unfortunately, I just caught it. Of note, we're also 2 minutes up on clock on the opponent, who also only has 5 life left. So maybe I should have grabbed Walking Ballista there? Unmoored Ego, sure. Oh, it's tearing our deck apart. Tearing it apart. They also have Force Negations. Definitely good to know. Karn Liberate's a great choice. To be fair, let's see. Exile. Yeah, see, we still have Great Creators in our deck, and I think that's the better threat. Because currently, if we draw a Great Creator, we can cast Great Creator and get Ensnaring Bridge. Alright, so we hit a land. Go ahead and pass through this turn. If this is a Sanctuary, it's not, it's a Blood Crypt. So we're still at 16. They're attacking in. We still have lots of live draws. Ulamog off the top absolutely does great. Ooh, that's the card. That's exactly the card I said I wanted. So let's go ahead and get this card. See if it resolves. Doesn't look like it's resolving based on the snap tap there. Alright, Drown in the Lock. Unfortunate. Confirms that they were playing Drown in the Lock. So, feels like we made a lot of right calls this game. We're hoping to still rip Ulamog because that would allow us to kill Click plus a Mage. Alright, that's dead. Go to sideboarding. See if anything changes here. Man, they have a million answers to so the game definitely went long, but they have a million answers to Tron. All of our threats gave them trouble though, so that definitely feels good. Looks like their win conditions are definitely permanent base, so I think I want all 4 of these Oblivion Stones. And I don't think I want these worm coils as much. Let's try it like this. I hate not taking the surgical because I like having it as protection against their surgical, but this end's close, but I think we can take a mole. This end's much worse. Let's take another mole. Alright, this is our keep. It's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. So we need RNG to run heavily in our favor here in order to win this game. So let's start by drawing a card, getting a green, Ancient Stirrings, I mean, at least we had a land, but man, that was bad. Talk about the worst land we didn't want to hit. Alright. So this relic I'll be using to wear down our graveyard, since they have things like Drown in the Lock. Yep. Looks like we're getting Thought Scoured. Yep. Oh no, there's his tower. So we can never tap this relic. Ever. I lied. We can totally tap this relic, so... So we're going to target player exiles a card from their graveyard and target us. See if the opponent responds. Nah. Alright. Fires his tower. Alright. Now I'm in much less of a hurry. Let's go to Ancient Stirrings. See if this is a Drown in the Lock. There's such a heavy graveyard-based deck, I hate doing it, but I think we need to hit our land drops. This relic counters their Drown in the Lock. Well, we're dead. I'm going to take the star, because it gives us a better chance of hitting a unique piece, but I think we're dead. Pass to the turn. Feeling like we're going to get Unmoored Ego here. Especially with that shock. Fulminator Mage. Actually worse for us, ironically. Alright, let's go ahead and crack for a green. Draw a card. I mean, it looks like we're going to find a land this turn. Tower, play map. Pass the turn. It's been an awkward game. Really unfortunate we had to use our relic, but it is what it is. I think the opponent's considering what to name with Unmoored Ego currently. Which would not be ideal for us. The correct answer is Urza's Mine, in case you're curious. We already have a power plant in exile, so we're less likely to draw it. And so taking Mine thins more lands out of our deck, which makes it harder to cast our remaining spells. So for those of you out there that hate Tron and want to know what the most optimal play to take is, name the land that they have the least of in their deck. Or the most of in their deck. Alright, it looks like they're gonna Unmoored Ego us. I'm not sure. Tassiger maybe? Ooh, tap out for Tassiger. Alright, well I actually think that's really good for us. God, they have a million K commands, or this O-Stone would be so appealing. Alright, let's go ahead and map for a power plant, because there's less of them in our deck. Play this, crack it for green, draw a card. Wow, we hit the mine. Wow, we hit the mine. So what we're just hoping for now is no surgical. No field. Alright, well, we're going to get fielded. That's fine. Not ideal, but it's what's going to happen. After we get fielded, we're going to get the stone down, which is likely going to get K commanded. But we're not out of this yet. By any means. By any means. Okay, opponent's going to field main phase, and then cast another spell. Alright. Maybe they also have a surgical to go with that on the tower. We can grab our forest. Ooh, Fulminator Mage. Oof, that's pretty good, opponent. Alright, well, hopefully you don't also have a K command, and this O-Stone's going to sneak in and get there. Sure, we go to 12. I wouldn't mind using our life 12 as a resource if this was a fish, but since it's a Tassiger, it's a little bit worse for us. Additional field means if the opponent waits till the draw step and we draw a forest, it will be Stone Rain. Uh-oh. Alright, cool, it won't be Stone Rain. Curious if the opponent knows that they Rampus into Oblivion Stone by fielding this right now. That is what will happen. Yep. Starting the Blast Zone. Ooh. Alright, opponent. That's a little spice. I think that means that I can safely put them on having a surgical in their hand because they just didn't care if we had it. Alright. Let's go ahead and crack this stone. Get Tassiger off the battlefield. Opponent can go, here's a hotline. Cryptic Command bans my own Tassiger. Surgical targeting power plant. Yeah, sure. Sure. We're off Tron for this game. Opponent correctly chose tower, which was the better of the choices. Ooh, opponent left tower in the grave because they have Graveyard Matters cards. And we have access to a Crucible of Worlds. Alright. Your sideboard, see if... Let's move this out of the way. I think the Crucible is right there, yeah. Alright, opponent's only got one card left in hand, so it feels like they're trying to just end us out here. So, Karn Great Crater off the top is kind of where we're looking to be. Alright, land or Karn Great Crater into Ancient Stirrings for the other one. Alright, there's the land, so let's start with the Ancient Stirrings. See if we can find Great Crater. Map keeps the lands coming, so let's just keep that going. 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th land. We draw a land off the top. We'll have all 7 lands to start casting Karns. End of the story is not great news for us, that's for sure. Oh my god, is this Mystic Sanctuary 4 into the story? That's pretty good. That's pretty great, actually. Go ahead and grab Power Plant and pass to the turn. I understand the opponent can surgical us, but that's fine. Yep. More attacks and we are dead. Or if this is a Tassiger, we're dead next turn. And our only out is to draw a... Yep. Alright. 1 Thragtusk. Alright, we can still cycle into Thragtusk. 1 Thragdaddy, please. Let's cycle into black mana for luck. Haha! Cycling to black mana for luck worked. Alright, we're still probably dead here, but we're going to try and resolve this Thragtusk. Let's go. Let's go. It's a counterspell opponent. Opponent is the enemy of fun. The enemy of fun. Alright, well played, opponent. So we fall to X and 2 in the Modern Challenge. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex here with Lucksack Games, reminding you to hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel immensely and costs you nothing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex with Lucksack Games, reminding you to have an awesome day.